How do you improve at art? No matter where you are in your art journey, I'm pretty sure that you've asked yourself this question at one point or another. Over the years, there have been certain things that I've learned and realized that have taken my art to the next level. I feel so grateful that I live in an age where I can learn so much from other artists and professionals online. That truly has helped me the most. Even though you may not want to, listen to professional artists, or simply just more experienced artists. They more than likely have had similar experiences to you and can give you advice that can guide you through the experience of being an artist. Sam Does Arts, Ethan Becker, You Tripled, Ross Jaws, all art students, V Sisters, Kat Sai, Millie Shu, and countless other artists who are amazing resources in learning and growing. There are specific tips that have helped me to really elevate and improve my art. And when I learned these bits of advice, it really changed my workflow and how I view art. The biggest tip I can give is to study from life. I cannot stress this one enough. This was probably my biggest game changer. I don't know if you've realized this, but everything derives from the real world. Everything is based on real life. Studying faces, anatomy, perspective, how everything works helps you to apply that stylization. Your proportioning becomes better and your stylization becomes more intentional, not falling back onto the excuse of, oh, it's just my art style. You essentially are learning the rules before you break them, which is so important. Another huge tip is, do not get stuck in the same workflow. That is one of the things that have really held me back from improving. And it's not even like I even liked my art or how it looked. It's just a part of me wanted to do everything the same way and somehow expected to improve and get better that way. And let me say, that did not help. I would quote unquote fail with every piece. And because I felt that way, I would keep failing faster and faster, doing it over and over again. The simple solution to this that I was avoiding was getting out of the comfort zone that you had created for yourself and trying different and new things, trying to get better. And that's a hard pill to swallow, but if I can do it, you can too. Another huge tip is draw what you see and not what you think you see. When I first started drawing realism, this was really, really hard for me. I think part of me wouldn't let go of wanting to still stylize things, that I wouldn't capture it true to life. I also think that we tend, as people, to have an idea of what things look like, but when we try to draw it, it looks wildly inaccurate. Our brains may think that we know what a human ear looks like, but without copying a photo or studying and understanding the structure of an ear, we don't really know how to understand or draw it accurately. This looks like an uncanny valley looking ear. That is why you need to draw what you see and not what you think you see. To texture or not to texture. Basically, I used zero texture when I first started out in digital art. In fact, I only ever started applying textures to my artwork about a year ago. I found that I personally love textures in my artwork. It makes it feel less digital and perfect, and it gives it a more organic feel to it. I know that plenty of artists don't textured look to their art, but listen to me. If you have never tried it, do it at least once, because you may like it. And dare I say, you might even love it. And unintentionally, this quote-unquote rock candy textured look that is something that I personally find myself incorporating in almost all of my pieces. The next huge tip, I have no art style, but that's okay. If you're a beginner artist, don't solely focus on finding your quote-unquote iconic art style. I know, shocking, how dare I say that? But honestly, I don't believe that your art style is that important. I think you should focus on studying from life, other artists you like, and getting strong fundamentals. because honestly, your quote-unquote art style comes over time, not overnight. As time goes on and you learn and grow, you'll learn what you like and what you don't like, stuff you want to try and stuff that just doesn't suit you. You need to allow yourself to experiment and play around. And how can you do that if you're focusing too hard on trying to draw only one certain way? So relax. You have time. Finding your art style has no deadline. Okay, guys. Care about color. Color has so much meaning. I am a firm believer that even though your drawing may not be that good, having a good color palette can take it from okay to being amazing. Essentially, here is what I've learned. Values. They are everything. How I check for my values is by having a layer above my art filled with black and setting that layer to layer mode color. And bam! Now you can see your art in grayscale. You need to make sure that your drawing should vary in values and hues, as well as having the focal point standing out from the background. Also, do not shade with black or a darker version of the color you're using. What I would do is some life studies. Learn about subsurface scattering, learning to give your art dimension and bounce light. Also, shading with saturated colors like blue and purple is something I've learned adds so much to your pieces. And never be afraid to study other artists' colors or palettes that you find online. This will improve your color knowledge and picking up on details and tips that you never even thought about before. I know I mentioned values, but oversaturation and low contrast can also look amazing. I highly recommend playing around with layer modes for this because once again, it can help you learn what you like in your art. I love contrast, but I also love how low contrast looks. So essentially, study up, do your homework, and learn what you like. This is advice that I honestly wish I could go back in time and tell my beginner self, because boy, did she need to hear this. I know that not everybody may agree or apply this advice to their art, but this is something that I have personally learned that has profoundly helped me and my art journey. This video took a while to make, and I wholeheartedly hope that you enjoyed. I'll see you in my next video, whenever that is, and bye-bye!